Hello and welcome back to another Motovlog. Now today we're off to do a charity motorcycle ride on behalf of the Links and Knots Air Ambulance Appeal. Now this was originally billed as Ride to Save Lives, but unfortunately due to the COVID-19 pandemic that has had to be cancelled. But of course the charity are still desperate for your donations. So they've asked all the motorcyclists that were going to take part in the event to come down sometime during September, from September the 5th until October the 4th, and actually ride the route. And once you've ridden the route, then obviously make a donation. So that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to climb aboard my old BMW and ride the route for the Links and Knots Air Ambulance Appeal. So let's get on the old bike and go. Okay, let's get the old bike going and get going. And Ride to Save Lives route. Let's go and ride the route then, shall we? Quite a lot of traffic about this morning. Bit overcast as well, but at least it's not raining. Not yet. Very, very dangerous roundabout, this one. Okay, so let's do this. Let's ride the route, if I can remember the route, that is. I meant to put my tank bag on this morning so I could put my phone in with the maps on. What a pity that this all had to be cancelled. I was really hoping to ride this route with I don't know, 300 to 400 other motorcyclists. all riding in convoy, all in aid of charity, all in aid of the Links and Knots Air Ambulance Appeal, which is a very, very worthwhile charity. You have to keep that old helicopter flying, or ambucopter as they call it. I think it started in about 1994, so it's been going for about 26 years now. Cost them something like £4 million a year to fund the helicopters flying and the staff and all that, the pilots and all the support staff. And of course it's all funded by the public and by sponsorship, not funded at all by the government or the NHS. So yes, most disappointed that we're not riding with hundreds of other bikers today. And it's all due because of this COVID-19, this deadly coronavirus that has killed so many people around the world. Thousands and thousands. I think it's something like 900,000 and counting. So soon be up to 1 million people would have died from this deadly coronavirus. Absolutely awful. And of course the lockdown restrictions and all that means that all events have been cancelled. You can't have large gatherings of people, certainly not 300 to 400 motorcyclists all turning up together, which is such a shame. I really wanted to ride this route, with several hundred bikers. It would have been a really, really great day. And I had a couple of friends who rode it last year. They said it was so well organised. There was marshals along the way showing you which way to go so you didn't get lost. I'm bound to get lost a few times, I think. Okay, here we go through Stapleford Woods here. What was I saying? Yes, this ambucopter appeal, the Links and Knots Air Ambulance. Such a worthwhile cause this is, keeping the helicopter flying. It's obviously a helicopter's a lot quicker than a road-going ambulance. I think it can do something like 200 miles an hour, and of course there's no traffic to worry about. I think they're hoping to raise something like £2,000. I know last year I think they raised this ride raised something like £4,000, but because it's different this year, you can't have all these motorcyclists riding together. Yes, most disappointed I am, but never mind, we're going to ride the route anyway. I shall give a donation at the end when I get home. I probably won't record the whole route. It's 62 miles, passing through 26 villages around Lincolnshire and Nottinghamshire. It's possibly going to take me 2 hours, 2.5 hours perhaps. I may actually stop off somewhere and have a coffee, go to the toilet. But a very, very worthwhile cause this is. Now last year I actually filmed all the riders riding through Swinderby. I didn't know about this event, you see, right until the last minute when a friend of mine told me he was taking part. And I thought, oh, I'll find a nice vantage point and I'll shoot some video of all the bikers going by and see what it's like, and maybe next year I could take part. So yes, in Swinderby I set myself up. I had 3 cameras. I stood on a corner watching them all, and I also had a camera on a lamppost. So I've got to think where to go now. Yes, I had a camera on a lamppost halfway down. I think down the high street, I think it was. And another camera set up on the floor near a bend. And yes, I filmed all the bikers riding through Swinderby. And that's what I thought to myself, oh, I'd really like to do that. You know, it looked such a good, well-organised event, and it's all for a good cause. So yeah, I'll get my old bike out next year, and we'll do this event, but well, because of this coronavirus, you know, things just haven't turned out as planned. I had so many things I wanted to do this year. People who know me and watch my channel know that I tend to go around quite a few classic car shows and classic motorcycle shows and custom shows and all that, because I'm into my cars and motorbikes. So something like this, I thought, oh yeah, I'd really like to do that next year. Especially a well-organised event like this. It's all for charity, so yes. But of course this deadly coronavirus has upset everything. So sad that so many people have been killed by it. I think at its height here in England it was killing something like 900 people a day. I think we're down to about 10 a day now, so it's come down quite a lot, but that's because of lockdown, I think, because people haven't been allowed to go out or to go to work. But now of course things have opened back up again and lockdown restrictions have been eased. People have gone back to work. The schools have gone back. I have children at school and they went back on Monday after a 6-month break. Yeah, 6 months without any school. Well, of course they did remote learning. The school sent them work and that, you know, over the internet. Be a bridge up here. I've got to go across this bridge and then down onto the dual carriageway of the A46. We're not doing any races today or anything, just taking a nice steady ride around these 26 villages. Now, I've spent the past couple of days looking at the route, trying to memorise the route, and I've downloaded it all onto my phone, but I forgot my tank bag. I was in a bit of a rush this morning. I thought, well, it's a nice day, we'll nip out and do this ride to save lives, ride the route event. said, I possibly won't. I won't film all of this. It's possibly going to get a bit boring for you all out there. I'm going to sit there and not watch 2 hours of the Lincolnshire and Nottinghamshire countryside. So we'll just film the start of me riding off, and the end as well. One thing I want to film is going over Dunham Bridge, because it's a toll bridge, and when I've driven over it many times in my car, and of course you have to pay when you take a car or a truck or a bus over there, but if you have a motorcycle it's free. So I want to actually film myself going over there, and you know, they're going to lift the barriers up for me free of charge. So that's possibly what I'm going to do. I'll probably switch the camera off once we've been through Swinderby. We can have a look where I stood to film the video. Now I think this is the right way. Yes, my friends were saying that this was such a great event last year and so well organised. They had marshals showing you the way, and on most junction and that there was a marshal standing pointing which way to go, so you didn't get lost. But well, it's such a pity that it isn't happening today. But what they're doing is they're giving you a month to do the ride. It's not just 1 day's worth. As before, it was just on a Sunday that you all turned up, paid your donation, and then you go for a ride all together with like 300 or 400 of you. That must have been really amazing to have done that. But like I said, it can't be helped. This. At least we're still doing this charity ride. I think it was somewhere up here that I actually stood. Near this, I just stood just there near that chevron last year and filmed all the bikers coming down. And then along here somewhere, we had I had a camera on one of these lampposts I did as well. I can't see that now, it was further along. Somewhere along here there was a lamppost, yes. I had a third camera just along here. Just down there was a third camera that I took, and it was on the floor. nice little village this, the village of Swinderby. I actually live very, very close to here, so that's why I came down here and filmed. All the cameras on the bike as usual. Got the one on my helmet, of course, that you're looking through now, and I've got one down there as well looking at me. Hello there, all you people in YouTube land. I hope you're doing well today. And of course I've got one down there as well by the side of that cylinder. Level crossing here, still a manned level crossing as well, this one is. I bet this is a few years old. Plenty of potholes about. Ooh. Roads in Lincolnshire, absolutely awful. As I was saying, I think it was in my my last Motovlog, you know, the amount of money that we pay for road tax, and yet the roads are terrible. Certainly when you're on a motorcycle anyway. Get thrown about and all sorts, and there's some deep ruts you get your wheels caught in, and could really do with buying myself a GS, I think, or better still an old Land Rover. Might even do that if these roads get any worse. So here we are in North Skál. It's the next village on the list. Another one I can cross off. I'm sure some of my American viewers will be watching this, seeing what it's like in rural Lincolnshire and Nottinghamshire. Of an old airfield up here. I think it's RAF Wigsley, I think it is. I think the part of the control tower is still around somewhere. Let's see if we can slow down and have a look at it. Oh, like they're selling something up here. Is this it? Oh, there it is. You can just see the control tower there. The old control tower to RAF Wigsley. Parts of the old runways and bits and pieces around here. Of course, after the war, most of the RAF bases were given back to the farmers. So we go into Wigsley then. I think what I'm going to do now is I think I shall turn the cameras off and then turn the cameras back on again when I'm on the last few miles back. It's okay. Yes, you find all sorts of obstacles out here in the country, you do. So right, let's find a place just to pull over for a few minutes and we'll turn the cameras off. Well, that's it. I'm going to turn these cameras off now, and then I shall switch them back on again when we get near Dunham Bridge, which is about 40 odd miles away from here. We've still got to go through Gainsborough. We'll possibly stop off in Gainsborough, have a cup of coffee or something, so I'll see you soon. Well, that's it. We've completed the first 50 miles. There's only about another, 12, 13 more miles to go. So I'm going to switch the cameras back on now so we can record those last 10 to 12 miles. So I've got this camera here to switch on. Got another camera on next to the speedo, and one down by the cylinder head. I shall show you those now, because lots of people have asked me, how do I get those low shots as I'm riding around? So there it is. We have a GoPro mounted on the side of the cylinder head there, and that's how I managed to get those low shots showing the front wheel. Now it's all held on with cable ties here, because you can't get the normal GoPro nuts and bolts on there, so I've had to use cable ties, but that's how I get those low shots. Right, let's carry on, and we shall do the last 10 miles or so. Well, 12 miles perhaps. It's something like that anyway, I haven't worked it out yet. So let's hop aboard and go. That's it, all the cameras are switched on. The sun's come out, which is nice. It was very misty and overcast when I started out this morning. So, let's start the old bike up. And we shall do these last 12 miles, something like that. So yeah, it's been a nice leisurely ride through the Lincolnshire and Nottinghamshire countryside. Been a nice morning it has. And I won't say anything about getting lost a couple of times. That's my own fault. I should have put my tank bag on, so I could have put my phone in and I could have checked the maps all the time. But nevertheless, I know my way back from here, so that's alright. Don't know what sort of video we're going to get now, not with the sun beaming down on us. But here is the Dunham Toll Bridge, only a small bridge this one. Originally built in the 1800s, I believe. And there's the River Trent down there. And like I was saying earlier on, this is actually free for motorcyclists, this one. I've come across here many times on my car, and I've always had to pay. But if you're on a motorcycle, they let you across for free, which is very good. You don't get much for free these days. That's it, we go through free of charge. Look at that, wonderful. Okay, we shall make our way back to where we started in Newark at the petrol station up near the Newark Showground. Like I said, been a nice leisurely morning out this. Now I did take a slight detour and I went into Gainsborough to a famous burger bar there. Stopped off for a burger and a coffee, you know. Won't say the name, but if I mention Golden Arches, you possibly know what I mean. Yes, when I started this, like I said, it was all overcast. I was hoping it was going to be overcast all day, because I knew when I'd be on my way back that the sun would be facing me. So I'm not too sure what sort of video footage we're going to get now with the sun on us. Hopefully it won't be too bad. And I'll say it again, like I said at the start, it's a real pity that this event had to be cancelled and we couldn't ride with hundreds of other bikers. That would have been awesome, totally awesome, that, riding with, I don't know, 300, 400 motorcyclists all in convoy, all doing this route. Must have been an amazing thing to do, you know, to ride amongst that pack. But the charity still needs the money, of course, so that's why they've asked bikers to come out and ride the route anyway. You know, just pick a day in September and come down and ride the route if you got some time, and then give a little bit to charity, to the Links and Knots Air Ambulance appeal. riding an old motorcycle here. It's nearly 25 years old, this bike. So we're just taking things nice and easy. Like to make this old bike last a few more years before I have to rebuild it. Now the engine in here is absolutely a wonderful engine on this 850R. It's done 51,000 miles, nearly 52,000. But ticks over like a sewing machine, but it goes like a train. Easily do another 50,000 miles in this. I've seen several of these at bike shows and that with more than 100,000 miles on the clock. I think all in all it's taken me about, well, it would have taken me about 3 hours, I think, by the time I get to where I started from. But then of course I have stopped up, had a cup of coffee and a burger and that. Okay, we're in the village of Collingham now. Nice small village this. Very old village, I think it is. Now, not very far to go now. Until we reach the petrol station where we started. Okay, so this is the petrol station where I started off earlier on. So there you go, that's it. We've ridden the Ride to Save Lives event. Well, we've ridden the route anyway. We couldn't take part in the event, which was a great pity, that. But never mind, maybe next year I'll get a chance to ride with all the hundreds of other bikers. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Then if you have, then please give us the thumbs up and subscribe. And of course, if you can, then please make a donation to the Links and Knots Air Ambulance charity. That's what I will be doing once I get home. Now, I shall leave a link in the description for the video that I made last year of all the motorcycles going through Swinderby, and there should also be a link as well to the Links and Knots Air Ambulance appeal and the Ride to Save Lives page as well. So thank you all so much for viewing. And everybody out there in YouTube land, please stay safe and ride safe. Right, we shall see you all next time in the next video. So, see you later.